Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, sit a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators. So it is good to be back among the world of living. I'm still a little sick, but definitely I feel better. It feels like I haven't done this in a millennium or something, and yet it's only been a few days. But when I made that last video, I was kind of in a daze a little bit, so not everything is all that clear in my mind. All I know is that we had a pretty good month again, and the details are a little fuzzy, but I'm back now and everything is under control. I didn't trade OSA for peanuts or anything like that, so all good. Alright, so the first thing that we can see on the screen here is the players that I am offering an extension to. Those were all expiring contracts at the end of this season. So usually the month of the trade deadline or the month before, I'm going to go ahead and offer contracts like that, so that's exactly what I did. So those are all the guys that I am bringing back. So Mike Sillinger, Alexei Yashin, Tim Thomas, Brian McCabe, Chris Phillips, Marian Oso, Magnus Arvidsson, and Derek Morris. A couple notable names, well, not that notable really, but a couple names that I am not bringing back. Robert Cron, he's getting a little bit older, so we're gonna leave that spot for a younger player. And Roman Hamrlik. So I've been a little bit disappointed with Roman Hamrlik. Not that he's been completely terrible, but he's left me wanting for more. And he's been doing that for a couple of seasons now. So he's struggling to produce offensively, and he doesn't have that great of defensive numbers either. So I decided that I'm going to part ways with him, and I am not going to renew his contract, and instead next year Derek Morris is going to be sliding in for him. So on the right side, unless I make some more changes, on the right side next season should be Sheldon Surrey, Sami Salo, and Derek Morris. That's pretty acceptable. And the left side is going to have Brian Berard, Brian McCabe, Zdeno Chara, and Chris Phillips. That's also very acceptable to me. So I am kind of liking my D looking forward after this season. So it does look pretty good. So that's pretty much where we're at. So everybody that I am not re-signing, as usual, I'm putting on the trade block and see if I can salvage for something else. So maybe I'm going to get offers for Roman Hamrlik or Robert Cron or some of the other guys that I am not bringing back, and we'll see if I accept those offers or not. So we are about to jump into February of 2001, and the first game in February is going to be pretty tough against the Red Wings, best team in the league. They have a ridiculous record, even more ridiculous than ours, and really that's pretty much where we're at. So let's get going. That game is in 5 days, so we have like that week off or something. Oh, Dan Cloutier is available. How many goaltenders do I have? I think I've lost a couple. Yeah, you know what? I'll try and claim him just in case I run into injuries. Historically, with this save, I haven't had a lot of goaltender injuries and everything, but just in case, it probably won't hurt to have him on board. Alright, Ray Bourque is back from his suspension in Boston. So back to the lineup. Ray goes, 40 years old and starting to get suspended. That's not good. Rito Von Arx in Chicago is suspended. He's going to miss 2 games. Memorable game for Mike Modano in Dallas. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Sharks. Ray Whitney keeps fans on their feet all night with a hat-trick as well. 3 goals in that same game. So Modano had a hat trick, Ray Whitney had a hat trick, and then Anson Carter over there is the only like guy that scored that's not Mike Modano or Ray Whitney. So, board confidence update. Rod Bryden is very happy. We went 11-1-1 in January. Alright, so Osa is signed, Arvidsson is signed, McCabe is signed. Signed. And it's a very boring song. Alright. All good. Alright, so I didn't get Dan Cloutier. He was claimed by the Wild, so Minnesota gets Dan Cloutier, so I don't have that extra goaltender like I was hoping to get. Alright, and New Jersey signed a 4-year extension with John Madden. He's getting $9,640,000 over 4 years. Pretty good contract for John Madden. One thing I did not do before shooting the video, and it's very unlike me, is I didn't look at the trading block. So let's... That's pretty sexy. I did like Zygmunt Palffy when he played in the league, and he is available right now. Of course, you know, I don't have a whole lot of money. What do I do here? They're gonna want something pretty good for Zygmunt Palffy. It's not like I can trade them. I'm trying to go for Palffy. I'm a fan. I'm letting my emotions get of me. I would be a terrible GM in real life because I go with my gut. Not my gut, I go with my emotions. Alright, so obviously I want to offer you Roman Amerlik. Now, I know that's not going to be enough. Who do I have as far as rights go? Alright, so I'm going to try and offer them Roman Amerlik and the rights to Chris Kelly. That doesn't sound right. Well, it says here that I think this is a well-balanced offer. Let's try it. What do I have to lose? They're probably gonna say no. I'm not sure how far I'm willing to go into negotiations for that. Yishkidovich and Dixon Ward. Alright, I am not picking those guys up. Alright, moving forward. No, Eric Bogunicky. Yeah, let's try and claim him. I want some depth, that's all. Alright, reaction, no way. I cannot agree to this trade, but it's close to being alright. I don't really have room on the right side anyway. I have Joe Thornton moved there. I have Alfredson and I have Bill Guerin. I'm not sure that I have room for Zygmunt Palffy on the right side. So, I am not going to pursue it too aggressively. But man, Zygmunt Palffy, that would have been awesome. Alright, we are finally playing against Detroit. So we are playing in Detroit. That's the first game of the season against them. They are 41-11-2. So let's take a look at their lineup and see why they are so good. Alright, so Dallas Drake is hurt, so he's not playing. Oh, Dallas Drake is pretty strong in my universe. 3-star players. I mean, he was a decent player, but yeah. Okay. Alright, so Arthur's Irby and Chris Osgood in net. That's pretty good. No complaints there. Nick Lidstrom on D. Yeah, that's, pretty much an all-star. Dan McGillis, the superstar. I haven't played much this year, have you? What's going on? Yuri Fisher, Curtis Crashton, Steve Chason, Nicholas Cronway. Wow, they have a lot of players that, in real life has had a lot of drama, not drama, but a lot of tragedy around a lot of their D in real life. So, that being said, past Nick Lidstrom, that D is average. It's not crazy good. I mean, it's good, but it's not ridiculously good. Jonas Wogun, Kozlov, Sean Podine, Craig Conroy, Fedorov, Green, Elenin, Eiserman, Peterson. And of course, their offense is pretty good. They don't have Datsuk, because I do, but they still have Zetterberg. He's already a 2-star player at 20 years old. Alright, so let's play the Wings. That's probably going to be the toughest game we've played this year. Not sure how the team's going to react. We're going with Mike Dunham in net. They are going with Chris Osgood. Alright, let's see if we can win this. Oh, not only did we win, but we won 3-0. And we held them to 12 shots on goal. The best team in the league. We did that. Now, if you bring in the 1992 Ottawa Senators in there, they don't do that. They absolutely don't do that. But this edition of the Sens is to be taken seriously. And that's the first time I've been able to say that about my team. So it took a while, but we're finally getting there, I think. Alright, so we outshot the Red Wings 39-12. Brian Berard was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Sheldon Surrey was the second star with an assist. And Magnus Arvidsson was the third star with an assist as well. Alright, so Brian Berard opened the scoring in the first period, short-handed, assisted by Sheldon Surrey. It was 1-0 for us after one. Then Alfredson scored on the power play in the second, assisted by Yashin. It was 2-0. And then Sami Salo in an empty net from Magnus Arvidsson. It was 3-0. Final score, shutout. Everybody's happy, except people in Detroit. Sadly, Joe Nieuwendyke's point streak ended at 13 games in that game, so he had a good run in January. Now I remember that. He had points in almost every single game. Alright, so now we are going back home in a couple days for a 3-game stand at home, and we're going to face the Devils first, which, they're pretty good too. Brad Stewart's suspension in San Jose ended. He's back in the lineup. And Bob Rand in Minnesota got suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. Ray Ferraro has played in 1,250 games. Was held scoreless though, but still pretty good career for Ray. In that same game, Pierre Turgeon extends his point streak to 12 with 2 assists against Buffalo. And that was 8 straight games with an assist for him. Miroslav Shotan's point streak ended at 16 games. He was on a tear, but that ended, so he got no points against Dallas. Rito Van Arts is back from suspension already in Chicago. Drew Bannister in Philadelphia is suspended. He's going to miss 1 game. Jaromir Jagr extends his assist streak to 8 games with 3 assists against Philadelphia. Alright, and Peter Forsberg signs an extension with Colorado. 6 years at $3.18 million a season. Too bad. I would have signed him had he been a free agent. Alright, let's move on. So we are playing now against New Jersey. We are playing at home, and New Jersey also have a pretty good record. They are 33, 12, and 7. And we've lost the one game we played against them this year, 4-1 at home. So let's avenge that one because it's at home as well. Marty Brother in net for New Jersey. We are going back to Mike Bonhomme. Why not? He just got a shutout. And we lost 4-1 again. So we lost both games at home 4-1 to the Devils. So hopefully we don't face them in the playoffs. We seem to not be lining up against them very good. So we outshot them 36-27. And we had 12,493 people in attendance. Patrick Eliash was the first star of that game. He had a goal and an assist. Marty Brother was the second star with a 35 save performance, and Scott Niedermeyer was a third star with a goal. So New Jersey took a 2-0 lead in the first. Steve Sullivan scored, and then Tony Amante. And then Roman Hammerlick scored, assisted by Dackel and Selinger. It was 2-1 New Jersey after one. Then further in the game, they would score again, and we lost 4-1. Ooh, Manny Legacy in Columbus got hurt, and he's going to miss 3 months. So goaltenders don't get hurt super often in my universe. So that sucks for Columbus. Wow, Joel Kenville is already running out of time in Atlanta. They're already thinking about canning him. They just got him. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Mats Lindgren. So he had a goal and 4 assists against the Rangers. Pretty good game. Pierre Turgeon extends his point streak to 13 with an assist against Philadelphia. And that was 9 straight for him with an assist. And Drew Bannister, after that game, is back from suspension. Right, we are now playing against the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo is really struggling. They are 14th in the East on 15 teams, I believe. Yes. Yes, it is. So they are 10, 30, and 13. So they're really struggling. We are 1-0-1 against Buffalo this season. So let's see if we can get us a second win here. So Dominic Hasek in net for Buffalo. We're going with Sam Thomas this time. And we won 3-2. So not the most glorious win, but it's a win nonetheless. We outshot Buffalo 45-16. There were 13,961 people in attendance, so we're almost at 14,000. Pavel Datsyuk was the first star of that game. He had 2 goals and an assist, so he participated to every single goal we scored. Maxim Afinogenov for Buffalo was the second star with an assist, and Joe Thornton, a third star with a goal and an assist. So Joe Thornton opened the scoring from Brian McCabe and Pavel Datsyuk. It was 1-0 Sens after one. And then Dave Andreychuk tied game. It was tied at 1 in the second. And then Datsyuk scored from Phillips and Nieuwendyk. And then Datsyuk again from Nieuwendyk and Thornton. It was 3-1 for the Sens. Rem Murray scored early in the third period, but that was it. They couldn't tie it up, and the game was over at 3-2 for us. And another W for the Sens. Trevor Kidd is available. I am not going to pick him up. No further action needed for Atlanta's Sami Kapanen. So Sami Kapanen is not suspended. Ooh, Don Sweeney in Boston is hurt. He's going to miss 3 months. That's not going to help them. Happen against Tampa Bay. Glenn Murray extends his goal streak to 5 games. In that same game, he had a goal and an assist. Great night for Brett Hall. He had 4 assists against Colorado. Pierre Turgeon extends his point streak to 14 games. He had 3 assists against Montreal. That was 10 straight games with an assist for him. Jaromir Jagr extends his assist streak to 9 games with an assist against the Devils. So he is also on a nice little streak. Glenn Wesley, now playing in San Jose, played in 1,000 games. 32 years old. He's starting to decline. He's only a star now. Star and a half potential, so he's declining a little bit. Still playing a lot of minutes, though. He played 26 minutes in that game. Nick Lidstrom, 500 assists in his career. He had 2 assists against Toronto. Jaromir Jagr's assist streak ended at 9 games. He was, well, he did score a goal against Minnesota, so he wasn't held scoreless, just didn't get any assists. So his point streak is still alive, I suppose. Bob Wren in Minnesota is back from suspension. Alright, and we are now playing against the Islanders. Islanders also have a pretty decent record. They are 5th in the East with a 34-13-8 record. We are 1-1 against the Islanders this year. We have a 4-0 win at home, and we lost 4-3 in Long Island. So we're playing at home. Let's have another good game there. Roberto Luongo is going in net for the Islanders. We're going with Sam Thomas. And it's a 5-1 win for the Senators. So another pretty good game here. Feels good to dominate a little bit. After being the punching bag for years, feels good to punch back a little. So I won't lie, I'm enjoying this. We outshot them 30-25, so those numbers look pretty good. By the way, even if I often now I am on the side of 65-14 shots, that's still a huge imbalance that probably shouldn't happen as often as it does. Let's see, 12,368 people in attendance. Magnus Arvidsson was the first star of this game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Bill Guerin was the second star with a goal and 2 assists, and Matt Cullen was the third star with 2 assists. So Joe Nieuwendyk was the first star of the game. Little bubble to my brain. He scored the first goal of the game, is what I was meaning to say. So Joe Nieuwendyk scored in the first from Thornton and Alfredson. That was 1-0 Sens after 1. Then Todd Bertuzzi tied the game. And then we scored 2 more in the second frame. Alfredson on the power play from Surrey and Yashin. And then Arvidsson from Cullen and Guerin. It was 3-1 after 2. And then Guerin scored in the third from Cullen and Arvidsson from Guerin and Salo. It was 5-1 after 3, and that's our final score. Pierre Turgeon extends his point streak to 15 games. He had an assist against us on that 1 goal, and that's 11 straight games with an assist for him. Good for him, good for him. We are playing the Devils again on Valentine's Day. Red Wings extend defenseman Nick Lidstrom for $15,100,000. So it's a 5-year contract, so basically $3 million a year for Nick Lidstrom. Pretty good deal for the Red Wings. Really good player, of course. Alright, so we are playing against a team that we struggle against, at least at home we do. No missed time for Montreal's Eric Desjardins, not suspended. Stacy Roost move in trade between the Wild and the Bruins, okay. Oh, Joel Perpich and Jason Curry are going to Minnesota, and Stacy Roost and Derek Gustafsson are going to the Bruins. I think that's a pretty even trade, although Perpich was probably a little bit better than Stacey Roost. I guess time will tell. Not a major deal, that's for sure. Alright, so we are playing in New Jersey this time, so that's the first game of the season we're going to play over there. The New Jersey is 4th in the East still. They are now at 34, 13, and 8. And we are winless against them this year. Probably one of the very few teams we haven't won against. So we're going to give the net to Mike Dunham again. Try to beat them for the first time. And Marty Brother is in net for the Devils. Alright, well, we won this one 2-1, so maybe we just don't face off really good against them in at home. Maybe we need to play them on the road or something. We outshot them 44-23. Marty Brother was the first star of that game despite the loss. He had a 42 save per performance. Scott Walker was the second star of this game. He had a goal. And Marian Osa was the third star. He had a goal as well. So Marian Osa scored first in the first from Brian McCabe and Magnus Arvidsson. It was 1-0 after 1. Then Scott Walker tied it in the second. It was tied at 1. And Joe Nieuwendyk with the game winner on the power play is 16th of the season from Pavel Datsyuk and Joe Thornton. It was 2-1 for the Sens after 3. And we went home happy because we won a hockey game. Mike Fisher improves at left wing. Good for you. Oh, Matt Cullen got hurt, though. Tender shoulder out for 1 to 2 weeks. Yeah, probably should put you on the injured reserve. Then let's take a look at... Oops. Alright, so I have Ches Levy. I have Steve Guola and David Viborny. I'm gonna get Guola. I think he fits a little bit more the style of Matt Cullen than Ches Levy or Viborny. They're more offensive players. Alright, let's advance that. Alright, Pierre Turgeon, 1,200 points in his career. He had a goal and 3 assists. He's on a little bit of a tear here, Pierre Turgeon. Good for him. A goal and 3 assists against Philadelphia. So that was 16 straight with a point, 12 straight with an assist. Dave Laurie played in his 1000th game in his career. He's 36, playing for Columbus right now. Didn't get a point, though. Alright, Steve Guola wants number 17. Have at it, buddy. It's all yours. Alright. And we are now playing against the Avalanche. So that's going to be our first game against Colorado this year. Colorado is among the top teams in the league, as we know. So they are 37, 15, and 5. So they are also really good. Let's take a look at their roster. Ooh. Alright, so Tribble, Kurt Sauer, and Sammy Paulson are all injured and not going to play in this game. Alright, so they have Craig Biddington and Milan Lichka in net, so not that great there. And then Kevin Dean, Robin Regier, Brian Fahey, Adam Foote, Colin Vopat, Niddleroast, Tanguay Lapointe, sure. Stapleton. Okay. The offense is pretty good. The D is struggling. And the goaltending's not that great. I believe that would be their offense that carries that team to that record. Alright. Let's go ahead and play the Avalanche. They're going with Milan Lichka in net. We're going with Tim Thomas. And we won 3-2. Another win for the Sens. Alright, we outshot Colorado 44-37. 13,385 people in attendance. Joe Nieuwendyk, first star, a goal and an assist. Manny Malhotra for Colorado was the second star with 2 assists. And Marian Osa, third star with an assist. So Kevin Dean opened the scoring in the first for Colorado. It was 1-0 Colorado after 1. And then we scored twice in the second. Datsuk on the power play from Thornton and Yashin. And then Zdeno Chara from Osa and Nieuwendyk. It was 2-1 Sens after 2. And then we traded goals in the third period. Nieuwendyk on the power play from Yashin and McCabe. And then Milan Eduk scored with 1 minute and 2 seconds left in the game. But it was too little too late. 3-2 is your final score. Steve Goala improves at left wing. Good for you. Alright, we are playing in 3 days against Montreal. Jeremy Roenick has racked up 400 goals in his career with a goal and an assist against St. Louis. Pretty good game for Roenick. Pretty good career so far. Dan Cleary has a memorable game in that same game. He had 4 assists. Oh, Pierre Turgeon's point streak ended at 16 games. He was held scoreless against the Oilers. And Alexei Zitnik in LA is suspended. He's going to miss a game. And the Blackhawks have extended Chris Chelios for 1 year at $3.42 million a year. 39-year-old Chris Chelios, still a 5-star defenseman. Paul Coffey has produced 1,250 assists in his career, with an assist against Pittsburgh. So Paul Coffey now playing for Columbus, of course. He was one of their first pickups. So alright, we are now playing in Montreal against the Canadiens. Now, need I remind you all that we have a perfect record against the Habs this year? We are 4-0. I would hate for this perfect record to be tarnished with a loss. So I really want to win this one. And Montreal sending Steve Passmore against us. Patrick Roy hasn't worked for them against us. We're going with Mike Dunham. Hey, it's a win. 4-2 perfect record against Montreal this year is still a thing. I don't think we're going to play a 6th time against them. I don't believe that's how the schedule was back then. So I believe that's it. So 4-2 win against Montreal. That's good. We outshot them 52-27. We had 12,491 people in attendance. Daniel Alfredson was the first star. He had a goal and an assist. Valérie Bourré for Montreal was the second star with a goal. And Brian McCabe, third star with an assist. So Mike Sillinger opened the scoring in the first, assisted by Arvidsson. It was 1-0 Sens after 1. Then Valérie Bourré tied the game in the second. Shortly after, Yashin scored his 20th from McCabe and Alfredson. 2-1 Sens after 2. Then in the third period, Yuri Dopita tied the game 19 seconds into the third, but then Zdeno Chara scored from Thornton and Datsuk, and then finally Alfredson on the power play from Marian Osa and Sheldon Surrey. It was 4-2, the final score. Uh-oh. That's the second time that Nieuwendyk got hurt. Should I be worried? He's gonna miss 6 days. Okay, I'm not gonna recall somebody for 6 days. Although you can't play. And then Magnus Arvidsson is also hurt. Well, you know what? You guys figure it out. We're playing tomorrow in Buffalo without some key elements at this point. Ray Bourque has 1,500 points in his career. He got a goal and an assist against Carolina. Nice little career for Bourque, of course. Looks like he's going to finish his career in Boston in my universe. Zitnik back from suspension in LA. Not suspended anymore. Back to the lineup. Alrighty, so we are playing Buffalo in Buffalo. They are still struggling. They are 12th in the East now. They are 13, 32, and 13. We are 2-0-1 against Buffalo this season, but we're going in Buffalo with a few injuries. So is that going to be enough to prevent us from winning this game? I mean, look at that fourth line. It's not all that great. We're going with Guola, Robert Cron, and Brad Larson on the fourth line. So let's see what happens here. Tim Thomas in net for the Senators. Dominic Hasek in net for the Sabres. And we lost 3-2. We didn't have a good fourth line. That cost us. We outshot them 40-23. Mark Gregg was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Pavel Datsyuk, second star with a goal and an assist. And Dominic Hasek was the third star with 38 saves. Alright, so Rem Murray opened up the scoring for Buffalo in the first. And then Yashin tied it up from Datsyuk and Roman Hamrlik. It was tied at 1 after 1. Then Buffalo took a 2-1 lead in the second. Pavel Datsyuk tied it up on the power play from Surrey and Joe Thornton in the third, but then Philippe Boucher scored on the power play, and we were never able to tie it up, so we lost 3-2. Kip Miller lights the lamp. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Rangers. Good for him. Alright, no further punishment for Darren Rumble, former Ottawa Senators Darren Rumble, not suspended in San Jose. And then there's been a trade between Tampa Bay and Florida. So Tampa Bay sent Darren Van Impe and Fyodor Fyodorov to the Panthers for Chris Allen. I think that's a pretty even trade. Maybe Chris Allen's a little bit better. We'll see. We're about to play against Darren Van Impe, assuming they play him. Probably. Great night for Nick Lidstrom. He had 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points against Chicago in a 12-2 trouncing. Wow. Oh, Dean McCammon is hurt and San Jose is going to miss 4 months. That's not good. Steve Bancroft in Florida is not suspended. Alrighty, and I am quickly going to mute my microphone. I said I am feeling better, not that I am completely not sick anymore. I do need to, yeah, I'll be right back. I apologize for that. And I am back, and I apologize. Alrighty, so we are now playing the Florida Panthers. Another team against whom we have a perfect record. We are 3-0 against them so far this year. Let's keep it that way, playing at home. Let's see what we can do here. They're going to send John Van Beesbrook in net. We're going with Tim Thomas. And it's another win, 5-1 this time. Alright, so at least as far as shots go, it was pretty tight there. We only outshot them 31-29. We had 12,277 people in attendance. Yashin was the first star of that game. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. Daniel Alfredson was the second star with 2 goals and 1 assist. And Mariano Ossa was the third star with 2 assists. Right, so in the first, we have Daniel Alfredson that scored, assisted by Marian Osa. It was 1-0 Sens after one. And then Yashin from Salo and Alfredson. And then Alfredson from Yashin. It was 3-0 in the second. Then Marcus Nilsson scored for Florida. It was 3-1 after two. Then obviously we scored twice in the third. Yashin on the power play from Osa, and then Brian Berard on the power play as well from Yashin. 5-1 your final score. Pretty decent game, pretty awesome game really. Except for this, Pavel Datsyuk got hurt in that game. I'm starting to have too many injuries. Alright, 1 to 2 weeks, you go on injured reserve. There you go. Oh god, I guess I can recall German Titov, the veteran. He's not going to be out of place if I call him back. He's going to know what's going on. He's played in the NHL before. Alright, he's probably not too happy that I've left him down there all that time. Alright, so we're going to be playing Vancouver in a couple days here. Luke Robitaille has reached 1,500 points in his career. He had an assist against Calgary. Pretty good career for Lucky Luke. Great night for Vili Peltonen, who had a hat-trick 3 goals against Philadelphia. Those were all the goals scored in that game. Magnus Arvidsson is about to come back. Boris Mironov is suspended in Phoenix. He's going to miss 1 game. Stefan Yell in Colorado is suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. Strong night for Glenn Murray. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against Dallas. Vyacheslav Kozlov is not suspended in Detroit. Okay, Matt Cullen might be coming back soon. And so is Joe Nieuwendyk. Alright, now we are playing the Canucks at home. It's a little bit difficult for the Canucks this year. They are 26, 29, and 6. So, not going to be easy for them, I suppose. Let's play them. We did win in Vancouver earlier this year, 3-1. Garth Snow is going to be in net for Vancouver. We're going with Mike Dunham. And we won 4-2, another win. We outshot them 38-33. We had 13,981 people in attendance, almost 14,000. Daniel Alfredson was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Brian Allen was the second star with an assist, and Marian Osa, third star with a goal and an assist. So most of the scoring happened in the first. Alfredson scored on a power play from Marian Osa. Then Henrik Sedin scored, make it 1-1. And then Alfredson scored from Yashin. Then Berard shorthanded from Alfredson. And then Osa from Surrey and Thornton. It was 4-1 after 1. And then Ben Clymer scored in the third, made it 4-2, but that was the final score. Brad Larson improves at right wing. Good for him. Alright, we are playing at New York Rangers in a couple days. We have 2 games left in February already. Feels like it's, well, looks like I'm pretty much in my usual times there. So I was going to say it looks like it went by fast, but it's been almost 45 minutes already. So pretty much in my times here. Alright. Ray Ferraro has racked up 500 assists in his career. He had an assist against Florida. Zygmunt Palffy has racked up 300 goals. Goal and an assist in that same game. 28 years old. Could have been an Ottawa Senator. Montreal's Réaume is suspended. So Pascal Réaume in Montreal suspended for 9 games. That's a lot of games. Strong night for Frederick Modine in Toronto. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals and an assist in that same game against Montreal. Then Johnny Van Dyke might start playing again. That'd be great. Martin Gélina extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had a goal and an assist against Chicago. Boris Mironov is back from his suspension in Phoenix. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Paul Coffey, who had a goal and 4 assists for Columbus against Anaheim. 39 years old, Paul Coffey, still a 2-star talent. A good game for Jaromir Jagr. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Islanders, so hat-trick for Jagr. Great night for Mario Lemieux in that same game. He had 4 assists. Still in that same game, Vili Peltonen had 4 goals. He scored all of the Islanders' goals in that game. Alright, Arvidsson is ready. And we got a trade proposal from the Carolina Hurricanes, who are offering me Brett Lysek for Roman Hamrlik, and I will say no. Alright. Oh, so the 2 games are back-to-back as well. So we are about to play the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Rangers have a decent record, but they are outside of a playoff spot despite it. They are 9th in the East, trailing Montreal by 3 points, but they do have 2 games on hand. The Rangers are 29, 21, and 11, and we are 2-0-0 against them this year, so we haven't lost against them so far. We do have a bunch of injuries, so who knows. So we are going with Tim Thomas for that game. The Rangers are going with Mike Richter. And we won 6-1. Another great game for the Sens. 46-25 the shots for us. Marian Osa was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Daniel Alfredson, second star with 2 assists. And Sheldon Souray, third star with a goal. So the Rangers actually opened up the scoring in that one. Brendan Morrison scored on the power play, made it 1-0 Rangers, but before the period ended, Sheldon Souray scored as well on the power play from Alexei Yashin and Daniel Alfredson. It was tied at 1-1, and after that it was all Senators. So in the second we have Thornton from Osa and Hamrlik, and then Osa from Alfredson, and then German Titov from Arvidsson and Brad Larson, 4-1 after 2. And then Andreas Dackel scored from Sillinger and Salo, and Robert Cron from Bill Guerin and Johnny Van Dyke made it 6-1. Your final score. Great game for the Sens again. Panthers considering a coaching change. Jerry Cheevers might lose his job. Matt Cullen says, I can play if you need me. Good. Johnny Van Dyke on the verge of returning, and we have a trade proposal from the Flyers, who are offering me Bruno Saint-Jacques for Mike Fisher. Ready? Ready? No. 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 Just no. Alright, we are playing Buffalo for the last game of the month. Oh, I have to check on Matt Cullen. Oh, he needs to miss this. Oh, he's not ready. I thought he was completely recovered, but he's not. Okay. Alright, so Buffalo, that's what, the 3rd time we've played them this month, I think. They are now 16-33 and 13, so they've won a couple of games since last time we played them. Of course, one of them was against us, so. Alright, well, let's play them again and not lose again. So, Dominic Hasek in net for Buffalo. We're going with Mike Dunham. And we won 2-1 to finish the month. So, another very productive month this month. And we have outshot them 39-18. 12,064 people in attendance. Marian Osa was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Dominic Hasek, the second star with 37 saves. And Alexander Mogilny was the third star with a goal. There were a lot of penalties in the first period. Oh god. Yeah, there's even like you can't even scroll. There's so many. And then in the second period, we traded goals. Marian Osa opened the scoring from Daniel Alfredson. Then McGillney tied it up. It was tied at 1 after 2. And Sheldon Surrey with the game winner with 1 minute and 19 seconds left in the game on the power play from Alexei Yashin and Marian Osa. 2-1 for the Sens, and that score would stay. Oh, former Ottawa Senator Kelly Johansson played in his 1000th game. That's too bad he couldn't do it for us. Oh, Kelly Johansson has slowed down a little bit. He was very useful to us, though. Alright, let's advance to March 1st. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Andreas Johansson, who had 4 assists against Phoenix. Pretty good game. Martin Gélina extends his goal streak to 6 with a goal against San Jose. Okay. Alright, Matt Cullen is ready. Joe Nieuwendyk is ready. Alright, and Guilbert and Pierre Turgeon. So Pierre Turgeon with the Islanders and Guilbert with Pittsburgh are the players of the month. So there you have at it. I'm going to send Steve Goula down. I'm going to activate Matt Cullen so that I don't forget for next time. Alright, so March, I think 14th or something like that is the trade deadline. So I might have to look at that. If I want to make a deal, I only have a couple weeks left to do that. Alright, so February is over now. We are still first in the East, so that's pretty cool. Actually, we have a pretty good lead, too. We have 96 points at this point. So I think it's pretty much safe to say that we're going to reach 100 points for the season. So that's really cool. Alright. And only Detroit is better than us now. Colorado has struggled a little bit more this month. So Detroit has 99 points. We have 96. So we have a shot at being the best team in the league at this point. We have never had the opportunity to say that before, so that's definitely fun to say. All right, let's take a look at our stats here. Starting to lose my voice a little bit. I'm sorry. So Yashin 74 points in 63 games. That is awesome. Osa 69 in 63. Also awesome. Alfredson 64 in 58. Awesome as well. Sheldon Surrey is a defenseman, 49 in 63 is also awesome. And then it starts to dwindle down, but even then, a guy like Joe Thornton has 40 points so far. That's pretty good. And then it dwindles down from there. I have a lot of players that, well, 3 players that are over a point per game. That's pretty good. Especially in those years, it didn't happen all that often. Steve Yzerman is the goal scoring leader, sorry. He has 46 goals. I don't have anybody in there. I do have Yashin among the leaders for the passers, so he's 7th with 51 assists. But the first place is Pierre Turgeon with 62. Of course, he had that streak going in February with all those assists, so that helped. And the best scorer is Steve Yzerman with 97 points. Yashin is 11th with 74. So Yzerman's going to be a 100-point scorer this year. Other than that, all looks pretty good. Alright. So we are looking pretty awesome. I think by now we can say that we're probably going to be in the playoffs. With a 22-point lead over Montreal, we would need to pretty much lose all of our games to not be in the playoffs. So Now it's a matter of holding our position and then figuring out who our first round opponent is going to be. Hopefully it's not the Devils because we've struggled against them. Hopefully we can face Montreal because we did really good against them. And we can avenge our exit from a couple of seasons ago. So, all right, that's it for today. I'm sorry if I've sounded a little lost at times. I guess I'm still a little sick, so I'm not all there still. But I still wanted to make a video. It had been a few days, and I kind of missed it, so I did want to do that. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and if you've liked the video, as usual, feel free to like and subscribe. That's always appreciated. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.